Hello and welcome. I'm Chamaka J. Uwadoka and this is Africa in 10 minutes, where we bring to you the trending business news as reported on Footprint Africa. On the headlines, Chinese company plans $4 billion investment on renewable energy projects in Ghana. China's Didi invests in Sacrifi to rival Uber in African markets. Nigeria asks Dangote to complete refinery before 2019. And now the news in details. Power China International Group Limited has announced plans to invest about $4 billion in different power modules in Ghana. The first phase involves the construction of a 200 megawatt solar generation project by the company beginning next year. The president of Power China International Group Limited and chairman of Sino Hydro, Song Dongsheng, announced this when he paid a courtesy call on Fred Oware, the chief executive officer of the Bui Power Authority, BPA. The working visit afforded Song and Oware the opportunity to discuss the 200 megawatt solar generation farm to be constructed by Sino Hydro at Bui. It will be constructed under a build, operate and transfer agreement between BPA and Sino Hydro. The discussions also bordered on collaborating with BPA to develop hydropower potential on the western rivers. Sino Hydro was the contractor for the 400 megawatt capacity at Bui Generating Station, and adding the solar would make Bui Generating Station a hybrid power generator. BPA has already completed the expansion works on the Bui switchyard to be able to evacuate the solar power generated from the solar farm to be located within the Bui environment. Song said there was very good cooperation between Ghana and China, and that Power China and Sino Hydro were willing to invest more in Ghana's economic development. Oware said the construction of the solar farm was likely to begin somewhere this year, and hopefully by the close of next year, it will be generating electricity. He said upon the completion of the solar generation project, BPA hybrid generation capacity of solar and hydro would be 650 megawatts. In other news, Kenyan business-to-business food supply platform Twiga has raised a Series A funding round including $6.3 million in equity and $4 million in debt instruments. Twiga uses mobile-based cashless technology to close the gaps in the purchasing power of urban retailers, saving them a trip to the market by delivering better quality and priced products to their doorstep. This in turn gives farmers access to stable markets at better prices and minimizes post-harvest losses through efficient logistics. Established in 2014, Twiga is today the largest distributor of several basic food staples in Kenya, having sold over 55 million bananas alone and delivering over 4,000 orders a week. Grant Brooke, co-founder of Twiga Foods, said, "Twiga is an outcome of the Nairobi startup ecosystem, the years of investments that have gone into developing talent, supporting hubs and attracting capital to the market. The Series A funding will enable Twiga increase the number of vendors it serves daily in Nairobi, diversify its product portfolio, and introduce advanced supplier services." The round was led by Wamda Capital and includes Omidia Network, DOB Equity, Okwalo 1776, Blue Haven Initiative, Alpha Mundi, and AHL. Fadi Gando, chairman of Wamda Capital, who will be joining the Twiga board of directors, said, "Twiga represents our first investment in East Africa, a new geography for us in which we plan on being increasingly more active. We are particularly excited in beginning our investment program in East Africa by supporting this remarkable set of entrepreneurs building a truly disruptive business. Wamda is a platform of integrated programs that aims to accelerate entrepreneurship ecosystems through the Middle East and Northern African region by focusing on media, community development, research, and corporate and government advisory services. Twiga will leverage Wamda's experience in the logistics and supply chain space to expand its unique solution to address the inherent inefficiencies in the delivery of fresh produce in East Africa, positively impacting producers and consumers further. The funding also shows increased momentum for Nairobi's growing tech industry." Moving on, Estonian online taxi hailing company Sacrifi has announced a strategic partnership with the world's leading mobile transportation platform, Didi Chuxing. Didi's investments will support further growth and innovation of the Uber rival across its diverse markets, positioning it to become the most popular and efficient transport option in its core markets in Europe and Africa. Sacrifi launched in Nairobi, Kenya in July 2016, where it is run by locally based team that handles driver recruitment and offers technical support to partner drivers and taxi companies that use the Sacrifi cloud-based dispatch software. Sacrifi also has operations in Cairo, Egypt, Lagos, Nigeria, and Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg in South Africa. Didi leverages AI capabilities to help cities develop integrated and sustainable smart transportation solutions by offering an extensive range of mobility services, including taxi, Premier, Express, Lux, and Hitch, to over 400 million users in over 400 cities. It has created more than 17 million flexible work and income opportunities for its driver partners. The founder and CEO of Didi Chuxin, Will Cheng-wei, has said we share a strong commitment to harnessing the power of mobile technology to satisfying rapidly evolving consumer demands and revitalizing traditional transportation industry. This partnership will contribute to cross-regional smart transportation linkages between Asian, European, and African markets. The value of Didi's investment in Sacrifi was not disclosed. In an opinion post published by Footprint Africa, energy expert Tor Daniel explores the growth of agriculture through nuclear technology. He asserts that technology and agriculture go hand in hand and can complement each other to yield positive results. He cites the example of Benin, where farmers are able to triple their income with the use of nuclear irradiation. He further supports his assertion using South Africa as a case study, saying that nuclear technology saved the orange industry from extinction. He says food irradiation is life-saving technology as it eradicates bacteria and parasites that can cause foodborne diseases. Against this background, it is clear to see the vital importance of implementing nuclear technologies in agriculture. This opinion post is available on www.footprintafrica.com and is accessible to all users. In investment news, Verod Capital Management, a leading private equity firm based in Nigeria, has agreed to acquire a minority stake in Green Springs Educational Services. The fund manager said the investment will be made through its Orion Education Investment Vehicle and will enable Green Springs to restructure its capital base and fund growth initiatives. Lai Koiki, founder and CEO of Green Springs, said, "We are pleased to have Verod as a partner and look forward to working with their team to continue providing educational excellence to our students and building new opportunities for growth in Nigeria's education sector. Verod has extensive experience supporting the development of companies, and we are confident that their resources, network, and insights will help us achieve our long-term goals." Verod said its Orion Education Vehicle was set up to take advantage of the continued growth in demand for quality K-12 education in West Africa, and due to its favorable socio-demographic environment, Nigeria possesses an attractive market for the K-12 education segment in Africa. The private equity firm said it expects that the segment will continue to grow owing to the increasing affordability for the middle class and the Nigerian government's increasing role as a steward and enabler rather than a provider of public education. Founded in 2008, Verod Capital Management has invested in 14 companies to date. The Green Springs investment is Verod's sixth investment from its sophomore fund, Verod Capital Growth Fund. And finally this week, Nigeria has confirmed that it is heavily reliant on the Dangote refinery to fulfill its promise of ending fuel importation by 2019, and as such has asked Dangote to speed up the completion before the targeted deadline. The West African oil giant said it was willing to play a major part in ensuring Dangote gets the requisite support and government backing to speed up the process and resume refining of petroleum products before 2019. Mr. Ibe Kachiku, Nigeria's Minister of State for Petroleum, explained that the present government had always believed that the private sector holds the ace in industrialization efforts of the government, and noted that the belief had been reinforced in what Dangote Group was doing. He said, "I have made a very firm commitment to Nigerians that I must stop the importation of petroleum products by 2019, and I am going to keep it. It is absolutely important that we do this early, given the feats we have achieved in terms of the speed of construction, and I urge you to do all within your power to achieve its completion before the due date." Aliko Dangote, the founder of Dangote Group of Companies and the man behind the refinery, has said he will take up the minister's challenge. He said, "We will go back and see what to do to make this happen by fast-tracking our processes, since the minister has assured of government cooperation and support." That concludes the news of the week. Please stay tuned for a recap of the stories. Chinese company plans $4 billion investment on renewable energy projects in Ghana. Twiga Foods Kenya raises $12.3 million for expansion. China's Didi invests in Sacrifi to rival Uber in African markets. Growing agriculture through nuclear solutions. Vera Capital acquires minority stake in Green Springs Private School. And Nigeria asks Dangote to complete refinery before 2019. To keep up with the trending business news in Africa, stay connected. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and connect with us on LinkedIn. These news and reports are called from Footprint to Africa. For daily updates and more business news in Africa, log on to www.footprintafrica.com today. Footprint to Africa, business news made in Africa by Africans.